Did you know that the top-performing myopia control eyeglass lenses, myosmart and Stellest, have both come out with a newer and more effective design? We're talking about the myosmart IQ and Stellest 2.0 myopia control eyeglass lenses. I'll be here to break down the key technological improvements on each of these second-generation lenses and compare how well they're performing in slowing myopia progression in children based on data available to us right now. Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Wan, an optometrist of over a decade's experience, the owner of Ardent Vision Eyecare, a one-stop eye care and eyewear practice in Toronto, Canada. Stellest is calling its second-generation lens Stellest 2.0, and it's calling its newer technology Hold Max, the maximization of its original technology. myosmart is calling its second-generation lens myosmart IQ. They're calling their newer technology DIMS TED, which stands for Triple Enhanced Design. To better understand the similarities in the added features to their designs, I've broken it down into the following table. You can see that both lenses increased the defocus power of their lenslets or segments. Both extended their treatment zone. myosmart IQ also added a third design upgrade. For now, let's look at how they executed these changes. Stellest 2.0 essentially provided twice the depth of volume of non-focused light positioned further in front of the retina than its first-generation design. It also extended its treatment zone by adding an extra ring of lenslets on the outer edge, making the lenslet spread over a total of 12 rings instead of 11. myosmart IQ also increased the defocus power of its segments from plus 3.5 to plus 4.5. Likewise, they also extended their treatment zone by adding an extra band of segments on the outer edge of its original design. As a third and final upgrade, myosmart IQ made its clear central zone smaller by adding an extra inner ring of defocus segments to its original design. We'll talk more about why they did this later, so make sure you stick around. While these features are great, how well do they perform? This is why I've broken down their study results in the following table. The Stellest 2.0 study consists of 50 children wearing Stellest in one eye and Stellest 2.0 in the other. At the 6-month mark, the lenses were swapped between the eyes. The axial length of each of their eyes were measured at 6 months and 12 months. The average axial length elongation after the wear of the respective lenses are shown in the table. We see Stellest 2.0 consistently outperforming its first-generation design by showing 59% increased efficacy in slowing axial length elongation at the 6-month mark and still maintaining 46% increased efficacy even at 12 months. Now, let's look at the myosmart IQ study. A total of 199 children completed the study. They were randomly assigned into 3 groups. The first wore single vision lenses. The second wore myosmart or DIMS lens, and a third wore myosmart IQ or the DIMS TED lens. Their cyclopedic refraction and axial length was measured at 6 months. As of the time of this video, the 12-month results have not yet been published. But looking at their 6-month data, we can see that myosmart IQ is showing a whopping 85% increased efficacy over its first-generation design. And if you look closely at how little the axial length actually changed in the myosmart IQ group, merely 1/100th of a millimeter, it basically means there is practically no myopia progression. I don't know about you, but I immediately became curious as to what is causing the myosmart IQ design to be this much more effective. As I reviewed the different technological advancements it's made, something caught my eye. This brings us back to the point where it purposely made its central clear zone smaller to better activate something called the near peripheral retina. But what is that? After a little deeper digging, I discovered the specific clinical study I believe myosmart's upgrades are based upon. The The study is interestingly called Retinal Sweet Spot for Myopia Treatment. It has been a well-established fact that having light rays land in front of the retina rather than behind helps to slow the eye from elongating, thereby slowing myopia progression. The study sets out to see which part of the retina, ranging from the fovea or central vision out to the peripheral retina, was most responsive to the placement of the positive defocus signals to slow axial length elongation. It found through a series of simulations that the 6 to 10 degree near peripheral retina is considered the sweet spot for defocus segments to be placed for myopia control. This is primarily because it contains the optimal balance of cone receptors, namely a combination of the long, medium, and short cones, required to detect visual blur and act upon light defocus signals. As we go into the fovea where it is completely void of S-cones, or into the peripheral retina where there are only rods and no cones, the defocus signals there have minimal or no effect in eye growth control as compared to the near peripheral retina. If what that study says is true, we know that the 6 to 10 degree near peripheral retina is where it really matters for us to pack it in with these defocus segments. What you're left with is the MiYOSMART design, which is this really dense honeycomb pattern in this very tight band, and it doesn't care to add those segments all the way out to the edge of the lens. I think both Stellest 2.0 and myosmart IQ made the right move in increasing its defocus power in its lenslets and segments. myosmart IQ even added more defocus segments in the treatment sweet spot, which is maybe what's giving them an edge at the 6-month mark in the study results. In any case, I'm sure we're all just super excited that there are more and more effective myopia control eyeglass lens designs that are being developed. If you like deep dive analysis and comparison videos like this, please hit the like button, subscribe for more free eye health videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Daddy.